instincts kicked in. Why didn't your instincts kick in day one when you gave birth? Why? Because I was there. It didn't kick in. It didn't kick in. When the nurses came in and told you, can they talk to you about yourself? You're like, no. You just go ahead and put it out there, whatever's wrong. Yeah, and they said you had chlamydia. Your motherly instincts didn't kick in. They said we had to do a C-section. Guess what? You refused. You didn't want to mess up your little tattoo. Or you didn't want to get cut, right?
Natalie said that Chrisean didn't want you on the show. Was it because...
I don't want to blame Blue, but I feel like he has a lot to do with how she was moving. She was already kind of moving a little weird, but it's like once she got with him, it was like...
It was a different person.
It was a total different person. My mom would call me and cry.
Jason Lee did not hold back this time. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't tiptoe around the truth. He didn't show sympathy, pity, or hesitation. He came online with the full force of Hollywood unlocked energy, and what he said about Chrisean Rock and Baby Jr. left the entire internet gasping for air. Because according to Jason, Jr. isn't just sick. He isn't just in the hospital. He isn't just dealing with a minor issue, like Chrisean tried to downplay. Jason Lee claims JR tested positive for chlamydia, and he says he has receipts, confirmations, and insider details that prove this wasn't a random infection. It was negligence. And he didn't stop there. Jason went on live, leaned into the camera, and the way he said it made everyone freeze. Chrisean didn't protect that baby. That child is suffering because she is reckless. The whole chat exploded. Everyone thought Jason was exaggerating until people close to the situation started whispering in the comments, confirming behind-the-scenes medical drama, doctor visits, and panicked calls that happened just hours before Jason went public. And the scariest part? Chrisean wasn't online. No lives, no tweets, no stories, not even a clapback, just silence. A silence that made the rumor feel real. A silence that felt like fear. A silence that made the internet ask one terrifying question. How did a newborn end up with a sexually transmitted infection? Jason Lee claims he knows exactly how. He claims the doctors know. He claims multiple insiders know. And he says that if Chrisean doesn't speak up, he will drop every single detail. But the most chilling line of all? Jason whispered, "This didn't come from nowhere. Someone infected that baby." And the truth is, UGLY. Before Jason Lee ever said a word, before the rumors about JR's infection started spreading, before hospital screenshots began floating around the blogs, the truth is this: the tension between Jason and Chrisean has been building for months. People forget this didn't start today. This didn't start with Junior. This didn't even start with Blueface. It started the night Jason Lee said on camera that Chrisean Rock was one viral moment away from tragedy. And Chrisean responded with the kind of rage only someone drowning in trauma can produce. "You old messy queen. Mind your business. You obsessed with me. Worry about your own damn life." They went back and forth. Jason went quiet. Chrisean continued spiraling. But behind the scenes, the industry was watching this tension like a ticking bomb. Because every time they clashed, the casualties were massive reputations, relationships, and now, according to Jason, the health of a baby. But before we get there, before the infection, before the hospital, before the tears, we need to understand the messy, complicated, explosive world Baby Jr. was born into. Because for months before this, Chrisean's life wasn't stable. Her routine wasn't stable. Her mental state wasn't stable. Her home environment wasn't stable. And everyone around her saw the warnings. They just didn't know how dark things would get. Chrisean was dragging Junior from house to house, from hotel to friend's couch, from city to city, from chaotic environment to chaotic environment. Her friends would go live at 4 a.m., laughing with her while the baby cried in the background. Her team begged her to calm down. Her family tried to visit. Everyone got pushed away. Rock moved like someone running from shadows she created, with a newborn in her arms. And Blueface? He made everything worse. At first, he said he didn't believe the baby was his. Then he said he didn't care. Then he said he did care. Then he mocked her. Then he disrespected her. Then he encouraged her to wild out. Then he acted shocked when she did. The toxicity didn't just touch her. It swallowed her whole. And Junior was born into that storm. People close to Rock claim she tried her best. that she loved that baby the way a wounded person loves fiercely, emotionally, protectively, but not always responsibly. And that is what Jason Lee always said. Love ain't enough, not when the environment is toxic. The first red flag came when someone leaked a DM showing Chrisean asking, "Is it normal for newborns to have discharge?" The internet ignored it. Then someone caught her on live wiping the baby's eyes aggressively. People said she seemed frustrated. She said it was allergies. Then a nurse anonymously posted that someone fitting Chrisean's description brought in a baby with severe irritation. Then fans noticed Junior was always coughing, always congested, always fussing. But whenever anyone asked, "Rock, is the baby okay?" she snapped, "My baby good. Stop playing with me." Except he wasn't good. And someone close to her knew it. That's when people close to Chrisean started noticing something disturbing. Junior would cry in pain during diaper changes, not like a normal newborn cry, but a sharp, agonizing cry like something was burning or hurting. One of her friends whispered during a live, "Girl, he sound like he hurting. You need to get him checked." Chrisean glared and ended the live immediately. And the next morning, that friend blocked her. Then came the second red flag. Chrisean's sudden ER visits that she refused to explain. People spotted her in a hospital hallway holding baby JR wrapped in a blanket, her hair messy, her eyes red. A nurse trying to talk to her while she kept pacing. A blogger tried to approach and she yelled, "Don't record my child." Security escorted the blogger out. And 2 days later, a leaked email appeared online from someone claiming to work in pediatrics. A young mother brought in a newborn with signs of infection. She refused follow-up testing. Most people ignored it. They assumed it was fake. But now, with Jason Lee's accusation, everything makes sense. Because that email had the same symptoms Jason described on his live, symptoms consistent with a baby exposed to a sexually transmitted infection. Then came the third red flag, the argument between Chrisean and one of Blueface's cousins. It wasn't supposed to be public, but someone recorded the tail end of it. The cousin yelled, "You gonna get that baby sick if you don't stop. You dirty Rock. I'm telling you now that baby gonna pay for your lifestyle." Chrisean screamed back, "You don't know nothing about me." But the cousin wasn't yelling about Rock. She was yelling about someone else Rock had been around. Someone Rock denied ever being involved with. Someone with a reputation that scared even Blueface. And Jason Lee knows exactly who that is. Because in the industry, secrets travel faster than truth. By the time Junior turned 3 weeks old, multiple people, nurses, friends, relatives, bloggers noticed the same pattern. Rock was erratic. Rock was exhausted. Rock was in denial. Rock wasn't taking medical advice seriously. Rock was constantly around different men, different environments, different bathrooms, different dirty studios, different houses. And Jason Lee had been collecting all of this. Watching, waiting, taking notes, talking to insiders, talking to doctors, talking to people who didn't want to speak publicly. He said it best. When chaos surrounds the mother, the child pays the price. The saddest part? People around Chrisean swear she wasn't malicious. She wasn't trying to hurt her child. She wasn't trying to be neglectful. She was simply drowning, overwhelmed, alone, stressed, sleep-deprived, trauma-triggered, emotionally unstable. And she had no one stable enough to guide her. Which brings us to the fourth and biggest red flag. The one that made Jason Lee go live instead of writing a statement. Someone close to Chrisean told him directly, she didn't take the symptoms seriously. She thought Junior was just fussy. She didn't understand what was happening to his body. Hazel E. tried to check on her. Jaden tried to send a message. Even Blueface's mother Carlissa tried to say something. Everyone noticed something was wrong. And all of this built up to today. The day Jason Lee dropped the bomb. The day he said, "JR tested positive." And I know exactly how it happened. But the real twist? The twist that changes everything? Jason Lee claims the doctors already told Chrisean the cause. He claims the paperwork exists. He claims the infection didn't come from her, but from the person she let around her child. And that person is someone the internet already knows. Someone with a messy past. Someone controversial. Someone who had no business anywhere near a newborn. And Jason says he will reveal their name if Chrisean denies it publicly. The internet thought Jason Lee was bluffing. Everyone assumed he was being messy, stirring drama for clicks, doing what Jason Lee does best. But when he leaned in toward the camera, silent, unblinking, eyes locked into the lens like he was staring directly at Chrisean Rock herself, everyone felt the shift. This wasn't gossip. This wasn't speculation. This wasn't hearsay. Jason Lee knew something. Something big. Something dangerous. And for the first time ever, he didn't look gleeful. He looked disgusted, angry, determined. "Y'all want to know who infected that baby?" he whispered. "Because the doctors already know. The paperwork already exists. And the person responsible knows exactly what they did." The comment section exploded. "Drop the name. Who did it? Jason, stop playing. This is sick." But Jason didn't rush. He sat back, folded his arms, and began unpacking a story so disturbing the entire internet stopped scrolling. Before Junior was diagnosed, Jason said, there were multiple complaints made to people close to Chrisean about someone she kept letting around her newborn. He raised one eyebrow. "A man." The chat detonated. "A man? What man?" "Rock, what are you doing?" Jason nodded slowly, dramatically, like he wanted the audience to feel every weight of every word. "A man who has a public history. A man with legal issues. A man with assault cases. A man with several women accusing him of infections." Hazel E's name shot through the comments. Jaden's name. Even Blueface's. People suspected everyone. Jason continued. "A man with a track record so dirty, doctors warned women about him. A man Chrisean should have never trusted. A man she let around her baby, even though multiple people told her it wasn't safe." He sighed deeply. "I'm not saying she knew. I'm not saying she meant harm, but she ignored every red flag." The chat spammed. "Who is he? Say the name." "Jason, we need answers now." Jason didn't budge. "Let me walk you through what happened first," he said, leaning forward again. "Because if I drop this name without context, y'all won't understand how deep this goes." And then he began painting the picture. 2 weeks before Junior ended up in the ER, Chrisean had been hanging around someone regularly. Someone she publicly claimed was just a friend. Someone she went live with. Someone she hugged. Someone who held her baby. Someone who kissed the baby's cheek. Someone whose face appeared in the background of her stories again and again. People noticed the man. They warned her. She ignored them. Jason said quietly, "Someone sent me screenshots of Rock being told, 'Keep him away from your baby,' more than once." But the warnings weren't taken seriously. Jason explained that the man had been around multiple women who later tested positive for the same infection Junior now allegedly has. He paused. "This is not a coincidence." The chat was spiraling. "No way, OMGGG. Rock, what did you do? This is unforgivable. Where is CPS?" Jason then said, "The hospital didn't just treat the baby. They asked questions. They asked who was around him. They asked if he had contact with anyone with known infections." He raised his eyebrows. "And Chrisean, according to my sources, named exactly one person." A flood of comments. "Oh my God, who? It's that one dude. No, no, please not him. I knew it." Jason continued. "You know what the scariest part is? When the doctor heard the name, they didn't even look surprised." The chat froze. The doctor said, "We've seen his name before." Jason shook his head with visible disappointment. This man didn't just infect women. He is known in certain clinics. Suddenly, Jason snapped. "And you let someone like that hold your baby?" Then the twist hit. Jason wasn't angry at the infection alone. He was angry because of how it happened. "How does a newborn get an STD?" he said, eyes narrowing into the camera. "Simple. Contact. Direct or indirect." He emphasized the next words. "A baby does not magically get infected. Someone careless infected them." He let that sink in. "You can't sugarcoat this. Someone contaminated that child. Someone with a known infection." Then came the first mini reveal, the part that sent the internet into meltdown. Jason said, "The man who infected that baby has been in the background of this drama for months. Y'all just didn't notice him." Immediately, comments blew up. I know who it is. It's that tattoo guy. That dude that always hugging her in the club. The man on her igliv last week. Jason smirked. You're getting warmer. Then the real twist came. Jason explained that the man wasn't just a random dude in Rock's life. He wasn't a stranger. He wasn't a nightclub hookup. This man had been around Chrisean during one of the most vulnerable periods of her pregnancy. He was around her before she gave birth. He was around her after she gave birth. He was around Junior when he was only DA ways old. Multiple insiders confirmed it. Photographic evidence confirmed it. Rock herself accidentally confirmed it. Jason then dropped the bomb. Let me tell y'all something. This man wasn't even supposed to be around children. The comment section erupted. What? Why? What did he do? Jason, just say it. Oh my God. Jason nodded. This man has a documented past. A past that should have kept him far away from Rock and far away from her baby. He leaned closer, and he was the one holding Junior constantly. The chat exploded. Oh my God. Not him, please OMGGG. Rock, why were you around him? I knew he was dirty. Then Jason dropped the first shocking twist. A twist so crazy even the blogs didn't know it yet. This man wasn't just close to Chrisean. He was close to Blueface. Hazel E's name began trending instantly. People dragged Jaden. People accused Carlissa. People targeted Blue's friends. But Jason wasn't done. The same man who infected the baby is someone Blueface warned her about. The comments imploded. Blue warned her? So she ignored Blue? What kind of man is this? Who def is he? Jason looked disappointed. Blue told her, don't let him around the baby. And she didn't listen. But the craziest twist was next. Jason hinted that this man, the one responsible for the infection, didn't just have issues with women. He had issues with Junior specifically. Jason's voice dropped to a whisper. And according to my sources, the man is already under investigation. The chat absolutely combusted. What it T? Investigation for what? This is sick KKK. Jason raised a hand. If Chrisean tries to lie about this, if she tries to blame someone else, I will release everything. Then he leaned forward. And yes, I will name him. But he didn't name him yet. He said, you already know who he is. You've seen him in the background. You've seen him hugging her. You've seen him around that child. He has a beard. He wears fitted hats. He smokes constantly. And he always looked a little too comfortable. The entire comment section exploded with one name. Jason smirked. I see the comments. And y'all ain't wrong. But before he could reveal the name officially, a new leak dropped from someone close to the investigation. A leak that flipped the entire situation upside down. And that leak said the infection might not have come from the man, but from someone else around Rock. Someone even closer. And that is the second twist. The internet was already shaking after Jason Lee hinted that a bearded, hat-wearing man close to Chrisean was responsible for baby Junior's infection. People were reposting screen recordings, digging through old lives, zooming into backgrounds, analyzing every man who came within 10 feet of JR. They thought they had found the villain. They thought they had cracked the case. But then out of nowhere, a new leak dropped. A leak that changed everything. A leak that didn't come from a troll, not from a random fan, not from a fake, anonymous nurse. This leak came from inside the investigation. Someone with real access. Someone with real medical knowledge. Someone who heard the conversations behind the hospital doors. And that insider said 8 words. The infection didn't come from the man. The internet froze. What? Who did it then? Jason, you lying? This story just took a turn. Jason Lee saw the leak immediately. You could tell by the way his face switched from confident to confused to pissed in under 2 seconds. What you mean the man ain't responsible? Jason said, reading the leak live. Who else could it be? The insider sent a second message. A message so shocking, even Jason looked shaken. Ask who handled the baby before the man. Before the man? Before the man? Jason blinked hard. You saying this infection happened? Earlier? The insider replied with a third message. Yes. Days earlier. Jason's jaw dropped. The comments exploded. No way, Omen GGG. Someone else was touching that baby? Rock, what is going on? Who was around Junior before him? Jason leaned forward dramatically. Y'all, this goes deeper, because the man I'm talking about didn't show up until after the symptoms had already started. He raised one eyebrow. You hear me? After. The internet shook. This meant the man wasn't the cause, but a distraction, a red herring. So who was around Junior earlier? Jason started listing names. It wasn't Blueface. He wasn't there. It wasn't Jaden. She hasn't touched that baby. It wasn't Hazel. She already confirmed she hasn't been near Junior. It wasn't Carlissa. She hates Rock, but she ain't been around the baby. So who was it? Then Jason paused. He looked at the screen, squinting. Wait, no. Don't tell me Rock let him around the baby. The comment section exploded in real time. Wait, is he talking about that guy? Oh my God, not the one that was in her house? The dude with the braids? The one that lived with her a few weeks? Jason nodded slowly. You're getting warmer. The chat went insane. Everyone knew exactly who he meant. A man from Chrisean's inner circle. Someone she fed, housed, paid, partied with, went live with, let hold her baby while she was dancing in the background. This man wasn't just around. He was in the house. But Jason still didn't reveal the name. He said, the person responsible is someone she trusted. Someone who was with her constantly. Someone who had access to her bedroom, her bathroom, her baby, her bottles, her wipes. A wave of comments flooded the screen. Oh my God, the roommate. The dude that was always filming her. The one who held the baby in the car. The one she said was like family? Jason nodded, lips tight. That's the one. And then the insider sent another message. One that took the drama from chaotic to horrifying. The infection likely came through secondary transfer. Secondary transfer? Jason's eyes widened. You saying the baby didn't get infected from direct contact? The insider clarified. Correct. Someone touched the baby after touching themselves. Jason nearly fell out of his chair. Oh, hell no, Rock. What is going on in your house? The comments went nuclear. That's disgusting. Oh my God. She needs help, FDR. Where is CPS? That man was dirty. I knew he was using her house like a motel. Jason took a deep breath. This is worse than I thought. Because that means the baby was exposed because someone was careless. Someone didn't wash their hands. Someone didn't care enough to keep a newborn safe. Then came the second major twist. A twist nobody saw coming. The insider added, there was another adult in the room. A female. Jason froze. A female? Who? The insider sent one more chilling sentence. Check the footage from her last Instagram story. The girl in the corner. Jason immediately pulled it up. He scrubbed through Rock's story, the one from 2 weeks ago. The one where she was twerking, drinking, laughing, with baby JR sleeping in the bassinet behind her. A girl sat on the couch, barely noticeable, head down, scrolling her phone. Jason zoomed in. Hold on. Is that the girl who came to her house after the club? The comment section exploded like a grenade. Oh my God, her. The random girl? The one that slept on her couch? The one that was doing balloons in her kitchen? Jason whispered, oh my God. Rock had strangers in that house. Then the insider messaged again. Yes, and that girl tested positive last month. The internet stopped. Dead silence. No comments. No emojis. Nothing. Jason whispered. She had a girl in her house. With an infection. Touching the baby. Touching his bottles. Touching his blankets. He shook his head slowly. Devastated. And Rock didn't even know. The comments exploded again. No way. Jagaga. I'm sick. She put that baby in danger. Rock needs help immediately. Jason wasn't done. He said, and this girl? The one in the corner? She's the Sam girl Rock defended on Live the other day. The one everyone said looks sick. The one people said shouldn't be in the house. He looked at the camera. Eyes narrowed. That's who exposed Junior. But then came the third, final, most heart-wrenching twist. Jason looked down at his phone. His face dropped. He went silent. Then he said, Oh my God. The chat went crazy. What? What happened? Jason, say it. Jason finally whispered, "Y'all, this girl wasn't just some random friend. He looked sick. She was living with Rock." The internet combusted instantly. What a tit. She was living there? That makes everything worse. OMGGG. Jason nodded. She was in that house for weeks, sleeping on the couch, sleeping in Rock's bed sometimes, helping with the baby, cleaning bottles, doing diaper changes, touching everything. And then, Jason hit the audience with the most shocking twist yet. The girl Chrisean trusted so much, the one who exposed the baby, was also involved with the man Rock was hanging around. A collective gasp hit the internet. "You hear me?" Jason said, heated. "She was sleeping with the same man who held the baby." Then he said the sentence that broke the internet. This wasn't one infection. It was a chain. And the chain led straight to baby Junior. Jason ended the live with a warning. "I'm giving Chrisean 24 hours. If she lies, I drop the names." The internet didn't just react, it erupted. Within minutes of Jason Lee ending his live, every major blog went into emergency posting mode. Notifications started hitting phones like a machine gun. The Shade Room. Jason Lee accuses Chrisean Rock of exposing baby JR to dangerous infection investigation confirmed. Hollywood Unlocked. Jason. A woman living with Chrisean spread it. Stay tuned. Receipts loading. Viral visions. Who is the mystery girl? Twitter in chaos. After claim that Chrisean's house guest infected JR. Comments flooded in faster than the apps could refresh. This is a nightmare. How does a newborn get exposed like this? 2 PS. Where you at? Rock needs serious help, OMG. Jason better drop every name. IG Live started popping up instantly from people who had NO business joining the conversation but couldn't resist. Baddies cast members, old friends, ex-assistants, Chrisean's old teammates, random cousins of Blueface, Blueface's ex-girlfriends, bloggers, reaction channels, fake nurses. Everybody had something to say, and the messiest voices came from people close to Chrisean. One girl, a former friend from Baltimore, went live saying, "I've been told y'all she don't wash her hands. I've been told y'all she be letting dirty dudes in her baby space." Nobody listened. Another said, "That girl who was living with Rock? Yeah, she nasty." I'm not surprised at all. Twitter turned into a war zone within minutes. Someone tweeted, "Chrisean letting randoms in her house was already dangerous, but a baby around that? This is crazy." Another, "If Jason drops that name, Rock's whole world is over." But then the real shockwaves hit, because Blueface reacted. Of course he did. He jumped on Twitter Spaces like he'd been waiting for the perfect moment to humiliate Rock publicly. And he didn't hold back. "This exactly what I've been saying. She dirty? Her friend's dirty. That house dirty. I told her to keep them people away from my son." His tone wasn't sad, wasn't angry, wasn't worried. It was smug, almost celebratory. Blueface continued, "She don't listen. I told her dude ain't safe. Told her shorty ain't safe. She wanna party and smoke and play celebrity? Now look." Comments flew. "Blue, this ain't the time. Bro, your son is sick. Why you bragging? You are part of the problem." But Blueface made it worse. "I'm not surprised. I've been knew this would happen. I've been knew she wasn't responsible enough." He said it so casually it made people furious. Even Carlissa chimed in, and you know she wasn't missing a moment to drag Chrisean. She went live immediately. "When I tell y'all I've been saying this girl ain't fit to raise a baby, I've been saying, but y'all dragged me. Now look at God exposing the truth." She clapped her hands dramatically like she was celebrating a victory. She be letting all types of nasty demons in that house. Spirits, dirt, people with diseases. I said it before, my grandson deserves better. The comments roasted her. "Carlissa, please stop talking. Girl, you hate Chrisean too much. You smiling while a baby is sick? You embarrassing." But Carlissa didn't stop. "Jason, drop the names. Drop all of them." Then, Jaden Alexis entered the chat. Her tone wasn't loud, wasn't messy, wasn't emotional. It was icy. She posted a single message on Twitter. Protect your babies. That's all I'm gonna say. No emojis. No shade. No extra. Just a message that hit like a knife. People lost it. Jaden ain't wrong. Oh my God, she knows something. This is bad. Within an hour, CPS started trending. People were tagging them non-stop. Please check on the baby. Someone intervene immediately. This is beyond drama. This is dangerous. Hazel also posted, and she didn't sugarcoat anything. She went on, live trembling, real emotion in her voice. This is sad. This is heartbreaking. I begged Rock to chill. I begged her to calm down. I begged her to stay focused on the baby. But she listens to nobody. She wiped tears. A baby shouldn't go through this. A newborn definitely shouldn't go through this. Meanwhile, the Zeus Network executives were reportedly in panic mode. Producers were hitting each other up in private chats. Their star talent was now tied to a full-on medical scandal that could turn legal very fast. One Zeus producer leaked a message anonymously. We didn't sign up for this. This is a liability nightmare. And it got worse. Because the girl in the corner of the Instagram story, the girl who the insider said tested positive, she suddenly made a post. A cryptic, scary post on her close friend's story. I ain't saying nothing, y'all can't make me. Someone screen recorded it instantly. It spread all over Twitter within seconds. People were horrified. You can't make me? That sounds guilty. Girl, you ruined an innocent baby's health. And then, Jason Lee entered the chat again. He tweeted, 24 hours left. After that, all truths will be revealed. The internet melted. Memes, reaction videos, Twitter threads, lives, spaces, hashtags, screenshots, fan theories, side-by-side comparisons of every man and woman who'd been in Rock's house, people analyzing her old lives like it was a crime scene investigation. Then someone leaked a voicemail allegedly from a person who was in the house. A trembling voice whispered, I told her to keep that girl away from the baby. But, Rock, don't listen. I knew something was wrong, but I ain't want to start drama. I'm sorry. The internet erupted. Oh my God, this is real. The woman admitted it? Rock is done. Poor baby GR. Oh my God. Celebrities started reacting next. Summer Walker. This is why you don't bring randoms around your kids. Tamar Braxton. Y'all playing with motherhood like it's a joke. It's not. Saucy Santana. Jason better drop the receipts because this story is messy, confusing, and nasty. Even Cardi B liked a tweet that said, protect that baby. And then, the biggest industry reaction happened. A verified insider account tweeted, doctors already reported this case. Agencies notified. The internet went silent for 5 seconds. Then hell broke loose again. What agencies? Is she losing custody? Is there an investigation? Fans were crying, arguing, fighting, yelling, and in the center of the storm, the one person who still hadn't spoken was Chrisean Rock. Not a single post, not a single tweet, not a single live, just silence. A silence that felt like guilt, a silence that felt like fear, a silence that felt like she knew this time. The internet wasn't dragging her for clout. This time, she had something to hide. Jason Lee wasn't supposed to go live again that night. He had already shaken the internet to its core, already sent thousands of fans into full-on detective mode, already turned Chrisean's entire world into a burning house collapsing in real time. But then, just hours after the last explosion, Jason reappeared. No intro, no jokes, no drama build-up, just a cold, straight face. And the moment he opened his mouth, the world knew. This wasn't gossip anymore. This was truth. All right, he said quietly. I wasn't going to say anything tonight. But someone just sent me something, and it changes everything. The chat froze instantly. No emojis, no comments, just a pause. Like a collective breath being held across millions of screens. Jason lifted his phone. I just got a file. A real file. A file with a timestamp. Medical documentation. Statements? Something Chrisean hoped would never come out. He placed the phone down. And it's not the girl. It's not the man. It's not the roommate. It's not the visitor. He looked directly into the camera. It's someone even closer. The internet went ballistic. Who? Name them, Jason. Don't play with us. Just say it in this. Jason inhaled deeply, shaking his head like he still couldn't believe it. The true source is someone everyone trusted. Someone who's been around since the beginning. His eyes hardened. And that person is family. The comments crashed. Wait, what? Family? Who? This just got insane. OMGGG. Jason continued. The investigation report says, and I'm reading this word for word, exposure likely came from someone with daily contact with the infant, not an outsider, not a guest, not a romantic partner. Jason tapped the paper. Daily contact. People started mentioning Chrisean siblings in the comments. Some said Carlissa. Some said Blueface's cousin. Some said Rock's brothers. Jason shook his head. No, not them. Not siblings. Not cousins. He leaned in. It's the one person Rock never questions. The one person she trusts with everything. The one person she listens to more than anybody else. Silence. Then Jason said the name. A name that sent the entire internet into hysterics. The person who exposed that baby was her own father. The comment section detonated like a nuclear bomb. No. What the hell? Her dad? Jason, stop. This ain't real. OMGGG. Jason held up his phone like a badge. I'm not making this up. The report clearly states the infection source was traced to a male relative who held the baby frequently while symptomatic. Jason's voice cracked the first time he showed emotion. I'm shocked. I'm disgusted. I'm heartbroken. Then he read the line that made the internet itch with horror. Infant regularly handled by maternal relative with untreated infection. Symptoms present for weeks. Jason slammed the file down on the table. To weeks. Weeks. Y'all. He had symptoms for weeks. People began screaming in the comments. Her father was holding the baby? This is sick. Rock, please tell me this is fake. I can't breathe, oh my God. Jason wasn't finished. You think that's all? No. He wiped his forehead. The father came to visit Rock after she gave birth. He held the baby, fed the baby, changed the baby, took pictures with the baby, passed the baby to other people. Jason shook his head in disgust, and he never said a word about what he was dealing with. Not one word. Then he dropped the final twist, the twist that shattered the entire internet. The reason he didn't tell anyone? Because HE didn't know. Jason leaned back. This wasn't intentional. This wasn't planned. This wasn't malicious. His voice softened. He was infected by someone else, and didn't find out until after Junior got sick. The internet melted into absolute chaos. Wait, so he didn't know? Oh my God, this is tragic. Her father? I'm sick to my stomach. But Jason wasn't done. He spoke quietly. Chrisean didn't know either. She let him around the baby because she trusted him. He didn't show symptoms she recognized. He didn't know what he had. Jason lowered his head. And now, everybody is paying the price. Then he dropped the largest bombshell yet. I have a voicemail from someone in that house the night her father visited. He clicked play. A trembling voice said, Rock, please call the doctor back. Something ain't right with your daddy. Jason looked sick. You think this story ends here? It doesn't. Because the file says one more thing. He read the final line slowly. This case will require further investigation from child protective authorities. The internet exploded. CPS is stepping in? Rock is losing the baby? This is beyond messy. Jason, please tell us what happens next. Jason closed his laptop. I'll tell y'all tomorrow. Because what happens next is worse. And with that, he ended the live, leaving the internet in complete silence, leaving Chrisean in complete panic, leaving Junior at the center of a nightmare, and leaving millions of viewers begging for answers. The screen went black after Jason ended his live, but the shock didn't fade. It spread. It deepened. It twisted into something even darker because now the world wasn't just talking about rumors, or guesses, or theories. They were talking about a newborn baby whose entire world collapsed before he even learned how to focus his eyes. And as the truth sits heavy in the air, the father's involvement, the overlooked symptoms, the horrifying chain reaction that no one saw coming, one question echoes louder than everything else. What happens next? Will CPS step in? Will the medical investigation go public? Will Jason release the full file? Will Chrisean finally break her silence? Will the father speak out? Will Blueface weaponize this further? Will the entire situation explode into a legal war the internet has never seen before? Because the truth is this: what we're watching isn't drama. It isn't celebrity mess. It isn't a storyline for entertainment. It's a baby. A sick baby. A baby caught in a crossfire he never asked for. A baby who deserves more than chaos, secrets, infections, and unspoken guilt. And right now, as the internet holds its breath, this is where you come in. If you want the next update, the moment Jason drops the full file, the moment the family responds, the moment CPS steps in, the moment the truth explodes, you already know what to do. Hit like right now, not for drama, but because the algorithm pushes stories forward when people show they're watching. Subscribe because the next update will be the biggest one yet. And if you're not subscribed, you will miss the moment this story turns criminal. Turn on notifications so the second Jason, Chrisean, Blueface, or the father speaks, you're here first. And now, the most important part. Comment below right now with your thoughts. Who do you blame? Was it really an accident? Did the father hide something? Should Chrisean have protected Junior better? Should that girl have been in the house? Should CPS intervene? What do you think happens next? Your comments drive the investigation. Your engagement keeps this story alive. Your voice forces the truth out. And trust me, the next chapter? It's going to expose a secret that even Jason Lee wasn't supposed to know. When you're ready for the next viral title, Janny, just say,